Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. First off, as you saw in the first seconds of the video, TCG Castle, our fabulous sponsor, is accepting 1400 bulk for a booster box of the new Burning Shadows set, which is about to come out. I believe this weekend are the pre-releases, and they're also accepting 1400 for, I believe, all of the Sun and Moon boxes and onwards. So you might want to check that out if you have some spare bulk. Also, if you guys could start off by leaving a like on the video, I would really appreciate it, because the videos are not reaching even 100 likes, even though they have over 1,000 views, and that's really unfortunate. The likes really help out the channel, but that's all I wanted to say in this first minute of the video. Now let's move on to the deck. Now this is a Honchkrow Tapu Koko deck. Honchkrow with Tapu Koko is a very obvious combo. You deal a lot of damage counters with Tapu Koko promo to power up Raven's Claw attack, which deals 10 damage for every damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. So we have Tapu Koko to use Flying Flip to spread damage, and then Honchkrow as a heavy hitter for the late game. We have a 1/1 Octillery support line. We have 2 Tapu Lele for support as well, and we have an Espeon-EX if we want to go for the devolving route to win the game. We have 4 DC and 4 Darkness Energy. However, I have been contemplating just using 4 Puzzle of Time instead of 4 Darkness Energy, because it's very rare that you get those extra turns to attach energy, but we'll try to make it work for now. Supporter cards, 3 Sycamore, 3 and 3 Lysander, the base. And then we have the Ace Trainer, which I think is a really cool addition to the deck, because we do have low HP attackers, so Ace Trainer can punch that, and we have Octillery to recover from those and from a late game end. We have Bridget to search our basics, we have Hex Maniac to shut off abilities, and we have Professor Cookie in case we need that extra 20 damage, along with the teammates. 4 Choice Band as well to increase the damage output against the high HP GX and EXs. 4 via Seeker for Ultra Ball, 2 Special Charge, 2 Rescue Stretcher, and 1 Field Blower. So that's the deck really quickly. As I mentioned, the main strategy is spread damage with Tapu Koko and then attack with Honchkrow. Now I did start recording the video, however I accidentally, or by mistake rather, clicked stop recording. So I spent the last 15 minutes talking to myself in English for some reason right here in my room, even though I was not recording at all. But that's okay. So let's see if we can get a good game going here against X Vina. No Tapu Koko start, which is obviously not ideal. We could potentially start spreading damage with Honchkrow, but we are going second as well. And we do see the Garbodor probably Drampa deck because of the Rainbow Energy. So the extra card hopefully helps us out a little bit. Right here we want a Darkness Energy instead of a DC, because a DC would allow us to deal 10 damage total with Honchkrow. And Whirlwind, okay, Whirlwind forces a switch, so that's not bad, I guess. Oh, but it's actually, wow, it's actually Garbodor, Zoroark, probably Drampa. So combining the Rainbow Energy very smartly here by my opponent. He gets the nice early pressure from Zoroark. We will probably end up benching a lot of Pokemon, so we have to be careful with that. We should also try to be careful with our item cards. Not attaching energy on the first turn is not a big deal for us, definitely not a big deal. Below my opponent's deck could definitely just be a non-GX or EX version of the deck. So I'm gonna search for a Tapu Koko, probably not Remoraid for now. I'm gonna find 2 more Murkrows. So yeah, sure, this Murkrow goes down, so I definitely should not have attached the DC right there. But I'm not too scared, and if it does go down, we are baiting the Ace Trainer immediately, so that's pretty good. That is definitely very good. We do see a Rainbow Energy on the benched Orankuru, and we see a Mind Jack for a knockout. So the Rainbow Energy tells me Drampa, but it might just be that my opponent wants to attack with Garbodor and that's it. Now Tapu Koko will survive this hit. The Oranguru makes him a little bit more Ace Trainer proof, if you will, and my opponent was definitely not having a good hand previously. But I'm sure we'll manage. I'm sure we will manage. And we will just Flying Flip for now. So the Zoroark will take 2 shots at least to knock out the Tapu Koko, as long as we don't bench anything else. We don't have energy follow-up for next turn. But we do see a break. We do see a Zoroark break. We see a Choice Band on the Oranguru, interestingly enough, and we see an end, so I can work with that. Brand new 6-card hand is definitely a welcome sight here. Get a TCE. We don't have enough damage counters to get a knockout with Honchkrow. My opponent also very hesitant to bench anything else, of course. Definitely very hesitant to bench anything else. And he did reveal the Carb. So we have to be very careful. Like a late game Garbodor could be a big problem here. And we do see Psychic Energy. So I wonder how my opponent is splitting up his energy. That would be a really interesting thing to see. Okay, so I'm going to Ultra Ball, away the Stadium and the N, I guess. And I'm gonna find another Tapu Koko because the active one will go down. And as long as I don't bench anything else, well, yeah. I can let the active go down and then the bench one shouldn't actually go down. I'm removing both tool cards just because I can. The DC, maybe I should have saved it for Honchkrow actually. But Honchkrow is still not one-shotting the Zoroark. Because it would only deal 90 damage and my opponent's Zoroark has 140 HP, so I would need 100 damage more. So I would need my opponent to bench something else. So it's really limiting his bench, which makes sense. Okay, so there's a Taurus drop, which is another Pokemon that enjoys having damage counters on it. So this is actually a less than ideal situation, I would say. We can keep spreading, or we can take a knockout now with Honchkrow. Oh my, is he really going to spread? Or is he going to copy Electro Ball? That would make no sense. He has to spread here, because if he copies Electro Ball, then he just wasted a Rainbow Energy. Okay, so he does decide to spread. That definitely forces me to take a knockout here, because I don't want to let him to get another turn in with spread. I will now bench the Remoraid, and I will use Raven's Claw for the knockout. Now we do see Taurus for my opponent, so I'd be really surprised if he doesn't have Trump as well. I'd be very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. We do see the Oranguru promotion, so if he attaches another energy to Oranguru, my opponent will be able to knock me out. However, he does play a Ninja Boy, so that Oranguru is going to turn into something completely different. What is going on here? What Pokemon will my opponent search for? Maybe Trubbish? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 item cards. He actually does decide to go for Zorua. Now there's only 7 damage counters total. However, that is enough for Honchkrow to get a knockout here. So I am perfectly fine with that. Sure, my opponent takes a knockout. It's gonna be really hard to take down that Taurus though. We are going to need like a surprise Tapu Lele. Maybe not a surprise Tapu Lele, but we're gonna need a Tapu Lele to get that knockout after a potential couple of turns of spread. So my last TC gets attached here, and we know my opponent has an N in his current hand. So I'm gonna attach the Choice Band to this Tapu Koko, 40, 60, yeah, to this Tapu Koko, so I get potentially 2 shots in. I'm gonna play the Special Charge. I think I actually want to wait. I'm gonna end though. I'm gonna end just because I get a little bit of card advantage here. We do get a Rescue Stretcher. However, I don't know how useful that will be. So I'm just gonna find the Octillery here. Hopefully the Octillery finds us something good. Like a Tapu Lele, like another Murkrow, and well, it finds us a Tapu Koko. I mean the Tapu Lele. I'm starting to get a bit confused. Finds us the Tapu Lele. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what to think of this setup by my opponent. Okay, so there's a Lele. What's he going to go after? Is he going to Lysander, attack the Octillery? Wow, he does play Field Blower. I just assumed this was like every other Zoroark list, which doesn't play Field Blower. But I guess I was wrong. I might just Lele for Sycamore. He has his own Tapu Koko. He's definitely not going to end here. I would say he's going to Sycamore. Because he really needs that DC to start putting some pressure. Some small pressure. I could use the Darkness to retreat and save the TCE. That could actually be pretty good. More bench Pokemon means more damage for Tapu Koko to spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 item cards, potentially 8 after I Sycamore. But 6 is enough to knock out all of my non-GX or EX Pokemon, so it's really a moot point. So yeah, this deck is very slow and steady, wins the race, but I'm not even sure we can win the race at this point. I'm actually not so sure. The opponent taking a considerably long time though during his turns. Solar Repair as supporter, he has the energy, so I don't know why he's taking so long. Finally we see the Horn attack. So I'm going to try the spread routes by trying to lock the Oranguru in the active position. And I'm gonna have this Tapu Koko up front, I guess. No Zorua makes me feel comfortable to do this. And wow, I did get the Choice Band. Now we have enough damage to pretty much knock anything out with Honchkrow, I would say. He has 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 damage counters. That's 130 damage total. So we're actually 10 short, but we do have the Choice Band. Are we gonna see? No, we're not gonna see a Lysander. We're gonna see another Ninja Boy on the active. But what's he going to go after? What options does he have? Probably a Trubbish. Oh, a Trampa. He goes for Trampa. Oh, that's annoying. That is definitely annoying here. Now we're gonna start losing TCs left and right here. So because of that, let's bring up the Trubbish. Let's Sycamore. I guess let's Sycamore or N. Not a huge fan of benching the Tapu Lele here because it is a two prize liability. However, I really need to find my special charges. Oh, I already played Lysander. Oops. Oopsies. Okay, there's the special charge. So we get back 2 DCs. So it actually ends up working out fine. And can we get 1 turn of extra spreading without getting punished or without my opponent finding a way to retreat? So this is Zoroark, Garbodor, Taurus, Drampa, Tapu Koko, Lele, Ninja Boy. And he has the Float Stone immediately. Okay, he decides to attach a DCE to the Drampa, and I'm really surprised by that. I'm going to assume he's going to take a knockout with the Taurus. There's no reason to Berserk here when I'm only 20 damage away from getting knocked out. There's even an argument to using Tapu Koko to spread. But maybe he just doesn't want to do that. I would assume he takes a knockout with the Taurus. But I'm not so sure anymore. That DC was really surprising. Like, maybe even Tapu Lele could have been a better choice. Okay, so we see Garbodor come into play. So no more Octillery for us. No more Octillery advantage here. I wish my opponent didn't play so slow. Just take a look at the time. 16 minutes versus 20 and a half. See, and he stays, he thinks, he meditates, he blah blah blah. So do I bridge it next turn? Is that really my play, to use bridge it? Yeah, I guess it is. Because with the Honchkrow, I probably need back to back. Oh, my Murkrows. Okay, there's 1 Murkrow prized. Okay, that's pretty bad news. That is actually pretty bad news because I will not have a good follow-up to this Honchkrow. Yep. Okay, so what I need is DCE Choice Band to knock out the Drampa. And there's still 2 Choice Bands and 3 DCEs left in my deck. Okay, so he just goes for the Berserk. So Lele could be the hero here. Lele with a Choice Band and a DCE knocks out the Drampa. Can we top deck Teammates? No, we top deck Hex. So I'm just gonna bench this guy and I'm going to Sycamore. And we get the DCE and we get the Choice Band, which is awesome. So there we go. There we go. Beating like a combination of the best deck in the format. A really interesting build by my opponent, though I think it's a bit too clunky. Like it's trying to do too much. It's Drampa Zoroark paired with Drampa Garb, and I don't think that's very good. But yeah, this is a fun deck, guys, so I'm gonna leave it at that. If you want to try out the deck, it's fun to spread damage, but I feel like there's too good of a healthy mix between non-EX attackers and EX attackers or GX attackers that the 20 damage spread, unless you're using it for something very specific, relying on using that every single turn is just too slow for the current metagame for enough damage to build up. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Please leave a like if you can, and I will see you guys tomorrow finally for the Typhlosion deck. Thank you guys, and bye bye.